Somehow Dead Rock continues to get better with every single chapter, and this might be one of its best chapters to date. Like, oh my god, this was legitimately intense, but also gave us some answers regarding Yakuto. We saw all of Class F fight, and we got some big reveals at the end of this chapter, and Yakuto might be even stronger than he was before. And honestly, good way to mark a 1-year anniversary for Dead Rock. We've been covering the series for a whole year at this point, and the manga has just been going strong. I do think the series is great, and it does seem like it's going to be one of Mashima's best with where it's leading, and it might be longer than he initially planned based on how things are progressing, so I legitimately cannot wait to continue going through the series. Before we jump right into the chapter, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. More people really gotta start reading Dead Rock, because this is legitimately gonna be great, and I really hope Kodansha gives us the official English release of the volume so I can actually start collecting these things. Now then, on with the chapter. Chapter 12 of Dead Rock, titled White Calamity, and the cover image is Mikoto with her zombies basically holding up a nice porridge with a smile on her face. Now, I'm just gonna say this. Nice way to celebrate the first anniversary if it's not obvious by the picture. Also, we know what you're doing with the shirt, Mashima. Cultured as always. Anyway, right in with the chapter, we start directly where we last left off, where Bren essentially became a literal giant monster, showcasing his true form. And I'll repeat the same thing I said last week. This looks awesome. Much better than his initial design, where it was used in a way that to make nightmare fuel by stretching his face, thus intimidating stature added onto that. But now he's just a giant, legitimate titan, essentially, as he's staring down from up high on top of the students. As everyone is staring directly back at him, Ryzen just picks up his sword and says, "Why we gotta fight the vice principal?" As Hange says, "Look, we don't got a choice. He's after us. Are you stupid or something?" Yakuto states that with only the power in his right arm, he's not gonna be able to win against Bren. But Zelecia, pulling up, says, "Looks like I gotta fight," and just transforms into her base form, her black wizard state, stating in pretty girl mode. Okay, I feel like she's still salty over what happened in the library with Cougar not finding her attractive. She's petty. I kind of find that funny. Also, I see you, Mikoto, off in the corner, calling her cute. I'm calling it. There's gonna be more Mikoto x Zelecia fan art now. There's gonna be a bunch of fan art. I'm all here for it. I think this is a cute ship if this actually is a thing. And if Mashima is confirming something with Mikoto actually liking Zelecia or finding her cute, it's just that face. I do find that face shows that she has some sort of interest in her. I think it's a fun addition. Also fits the month. Back to the chapter, Bren looks down, calling the students delinquents and that they're a pain in the neck, as he yoinks out a giant tree from the ground and states, "I'll just kill you, and this is education." With everyone staring up at him literally picking up a giant tree, he begins to smack the ground with the tree, trying to swat them like flies, as we see the entire area being broken up into chunks just from the impact alone. Our group manages to narrowly avoid getting crushed by the relentless result of blows from Bren. With everyone okay, Yakuto calls out to Frey, as she then charges up for her blazing fist of obliteration attack as she begins to burn up the tree. Then Zelecia uses her black magic Song of Destruction, and Hani uses his Thunder Impact. As they both land blows on Bren, it does nothing. Doesn't even do anything. I was expecting Zelecia to do something, considering that she is a black wizard, and obviously Zeref connection, but Bren is basically the second strongest at Dead Rock, so I do kind of expect him to be very tough. This also showcases the literal wall and gap between these characters. Bren says that ain't gonna work on me, as he then tries to swat the pair of them on the ground, trying to turn them into a bloody puddle like he did Hein. But as Frey looks over at Zelecia and Hani, Zelecia is okay, and Hani is shattered into pieces once again. So yeah, the running gag of Hani getting broken up in every fight looks like that's going to be maintained throughout the course of the series until he actually gets a really big moment again. I'm fine with it. I hope it doesn't outstay its welcome and it becomes, I don't know, just not funny. I guess it all depends on if Mashima can end up making new fun ways for him to literally break apart as the glass cannon that he is. Ryzen charges up with his sword to try and aim at the legs, as he literally states, if you're gonna fight someone that's huge, aim for the legs. But Bren jumps into the air so quickly that it makes Ryzen think that he flew into the sky and just falls back onto the ground, creating a massive shockwave, rubble going everywhere, blowing everyone away. Makoto goes up and tries to fight him now, unleashing an undead army. But as she does so, Bren is about to launch a giant fist to squish and kill Makoto, as Yakuto manages to grab her and save her at the last second, narrowly escaping. But she's very concerned about the corpses that were decimated by Bren. Never change, Makoto, never change. Yakuto calls out to Ryzen, basically telling him to throw him with his sword, because if he can reach his face, he might be able to do something. So Ryzen does just that, and launches Yakuto right at Bren's face, kind of confusing him for a second. Yakuto charges up a Black Dragon's Fist of Obliteration attack, hitting him square in the eye. Doing nothing, as the fire from that fist just fumes out. All Bren says that won't work on me, and then swats Yakuto away like a fly. And as he falls to the ground, Bren just goes off on a insane tirade. Literally, he's losing his mind right now. He's losing his marbles in this instance, just high off of his own energy, I guess, and just destroying them. I guess we kind of know what Bren likes to do in his free time. Literally kill people. As he goes on to say, no matter how many of you students band together, you're still no match for a vice principal. He says, I'm the vice principal, Kyoto, teaching head. What does that mean? I have no idea. I think this might be a mistranslation as he says Kyoto. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know what the original Japanese for this sentence was, so I can't ask somebody to clarify anything. But he literally just spouting stuff off as legitimately he's going insane. And everyone's panicking, being like, there's no way they can beat him. If they can't beat him, they won't be able to even beat God. Zelecia says, running is our only option right now. And Frey says, well, Hani got shattered again. Makoto says, it's interesting, the teaching head. I feel like she's interested in so much stuff, even in life or death situations. I feel like this is a nice character quirk, making her seem like more interesting. Mainly because she has a much different reaction to the rest of her classmates, as Bren literally yanks out that giant teleporter gate that they saw in the previous chapter, and he then smacks it into the ground. But when he does, it begins to shine brightly, as a beam of light rises from the gateway. As Bren is confused of what just happened. He probably didn't even notice that it was a gateway he picked up. He just picked up something randomly. Zelecia says that the seal wizard must have sealed something within the gate, but she's wondering what she sealed away, as in the next page we get a double page spread of the light flying up into the sky, revealing a shining white dragon. And man, once again, Mashima does not miss with his dragon designs. You can't hate on this man for dragon designs. He does a good freaking job, and I freaking love this design. It looks really nice. A traditional dragon just staring down at the entire group as it just launches a blast attack right on the ground, decimating the area, as everyone's in shock, including Bren, as he, in this chapter from this point forward, is just going to be shitting his pants as this white dragon goes on a rampage. Now essentially, Ryzen's right, it seems like they're going to have to face off against two literal monsters right now. But Bren is shitting himself right now as he's literally saying, a white calamity from level 2007. What's it doing here? Okay, so this confirms that there's more than over 600 levels. I assumed that because we were in the demon realm, the main villain was God, and with the multiple layers, and Deadrock was on level 666, I assumed that was it. That was the bottom of the demon realm. But no, turns out there's over 2,000. So Mashima just casually dropped the fact, oh yeah, there's over 2,000 different layers in this single realm with more and more powerful and destructive beings. Deeper you go. And I'm like, okay, this just expanded the world building of Deadrock even more than I thought it would be. And just that, he expanded things even more, and we might be able to explore multiple different layers. Obviously not all of them. It'd be insane to explore 2,000 plus realms, but you never know if the series goes on for freaking years, which I doubt it will. But as Bren is crapping his pants, literally seeing a giant powerful dragon, all of a sudden someone comes in off the distance and says, I sealed it away because it was dangerous. How will you make up for releasing it? As the sealing wizard Magu Magi shows herself. As everyone's wondering, wait, you're alive? But we saw your body get nailed to a door. And Makoto says, well, I didn't recall turning you into a zombie just yet. But the wizard just says, I can at least make a magical double of myself. What do you think I am, some spring chicken? I've lived hundreds of years. So I guess with all those bandits going around, she left a body double to take her place in case of assassins, and that actually makes sense. So yeah, that honestly does kind of make sense that somebody that's centuries old would be prepared for the worst. And making a double does make sense, especially if they're specialized in magic. But she basically tells the group, take responsibility for what you just did. As Yakuto just smirks, grabs onto the dragon's tail and says, I'll seal it away again. As the sealing wizard just says, you aren't even a seal wizard. You little whippersnapper, what can you do? As Zelecia knows what Yakuto's up to. As she states, don't tell me he's going to use the power of his curse. Now this takes us back all the way to, I believe, chapter 3, when we first saw Zelecia interact with Yakuto for a brief instance after him using his teacher's body in order to spy on the teacher meeting in order to get more info on God. As we learned that based on his arm, he's cursed. And we didn't get any real information on what his curse was. So Zelecia clarifies, stating, remember how he turned into a black dragon before? That was actually the power of his curse. He got it in exchange for his own life force. As she says, the black dragon root didn't give him the power to turn into a giant dragon. He got it himself, with Yakuto placing his hand on the white dragon saying, I'll seal you away. So before we move on, this is a big revelation because we all initially thought that Yakuto's power to turn into a dragon, to literally turn into acnologia, and his powers were because he was from the black dragon root, but no. His power to turn into a black dragon was because of the curse he has upon himself. And since Zelecia says that he got the power of the black dragon himself, it means he purposely got cursed in exchange for his own life to get this power. Meaning Yakuto probably went out of his way to find a literal black dragon or something of that matter in order to gain that level of strength, which is insane. Or at the very least, unleashes the full capabilities of his root in order to make him as strong as he was, giving him the ability to turn into a black dragon. Now all we need to know is how Yakuto got this curse and how he learned how to use it in this manner, but what happens next is incredible. So in this next 2-page spread, Yakuto's on the head of the dragon, stating, I'm going to seal you inside my body, shocking everybody, saying that Yakuto is crazy and that it's too dangerous, with Zelecia having the biggest concerned look on her face, stating that if your curse gets any worse, you'll die. As Bran is also wondering what the hell is going on, as Yakuto, with energy surging into him, says, give me your power, as everybody is looking on at awe as Yakuto looks diabolical in this instance. As we continue to see, all the power from this white dragon, this white calamity, is surging into Yakuto, as he states, I don't care if I lose my life. As despite Yakuto actually caring for his classmates, starting to view them as friends, he is still a literal revenge-driven psychopath with no regard for his own life if it means, getting his revenge on God. So yeah, the power of the white dragon is beginning to be sealed within Yakuto as a huge light appears with smoke clearing, with a dragon coming out of it. With a full double-page spread of Yakuto's new giant dragon form, now looking even more like acnologia with the feathered wings. As this isn't just a white dragon or a regular glowing dragon. As the chapter ends, the great sealing wizard states, a cross between a black dragon and a white dragon. That's the legendary dragon mentioned in the creation records of the demon world, the white and black dragon. Ending the chapter. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick fairy tale thing. Did Yakuto just become a freaking dragon god with this instance of power? Look, I'm just gonna spitball here, I'm just saying this as a relative meme, but did Yakuto become a dragon god? Because literally the wizard states that a white and black dragon was mentioned in creation myth and record for the demon realm. So did Yakuto, merging his black dragon root with this white dragon, literally make him into something similar to something from the beginnings of the demon realm? And Yakuto now seemingly might have gotten his full power back and then some. So I guess this was a really fun and creative way for Majima to get over the fact that Yakuto had his powers like stolen from him like 8 chapters ago. And we all thought, I thought, that we had to beat Lilith in order for Yakuto to get his powers back. But no, a chance presented itself. The Sealing Wizard sealed away a very powerful dragon from the 2007th layer of the Demon Realm, and Yakuto, revealing that his curse seems to be sealing dragons within his body and gaining their powers, did this to this white dragon, and that whole power mixed with his black dragon root, making a white and black dragon. So now, Yakuto, at the very least, might be on par with Bren, if not stronger, based on how Magu Magi states that this was from a creation record. That this is from the creation record of that was the last known record of the white and black dragon. So, Yakuto new form, within 12 chapters, really cool, got all his powers back seemingly, might be stronger. Also, his curse, literally in exchange for his literal life, gives him a shit ton of power and the power to turn into a dragon. Now, what else about this curse and how he got it, we still gotta learn more of. We might learn this in the next chapter or two. But either way, Deadrock, awesome! I'm loving every single month covering this series, reading this series, and talking about it with you guys, and I cannot wait to talk about it more. I really gotta sit down and make Deadrock content between months, because this series is so much fun to read, and I just want to talk about it more and fit it somewhere in my schedule. But yeah, that's the chapter. This was insane. But what did you guys think? How do you feel about Yakuto's powers now? About his curse, about this new dragon form, about Zelecia revealing stuff about his curse, and how do you think things are going to play out in the future? Also, something I didn't mention in the initial review, if they manage to get out of this alive with the Sealing Wizard, they might actually be able to unseal the book if they still have it by the end of this section of the story, and they'll learn more about God and his weakness, so that's incredible as well. But leave your thoughts, speculations, theories, and favorite moment of this chapter in the comment section down below, and once more, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Look, I'm just saying, Zelecia Mikoto shipping. Did not expect that to be a thing, but if Majima's confirming something, I'm all for it.